everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef, and today I'm excited to share Pampered Chef's Deluxe coffee machine with you. I'm going to show you how to use all three of the settings that, the options that you have, which are Nespresso, K-Cup, and ground coffee options. So we're going to do all of them today, and I'll give you all the great details so that you will know what to do when you get this in your kitchen. So we also have a milk frother, and we have an insulated pitcher. I'm not going to be using the insulated pitcher, but I did want to highlight it because it is something that you can use to keep your drinks hot or cold. It will keep your drinks hot or cold for 6 hours, and it is just a beautiful carafe. So it's beautiful to display. I'm going to set it aside for the moment. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and steam some milk, and we're going to do that in the new milk frother. Now there are 4 settings on our frother: high foam, low foam, warming only, and cold foam. So we're going to do the warming only option, and inside of this frother is a whisk. It attaches to the bottom. Hopefully you guys can see that. It might be a little dark in there, but this is what it looks like, and it has a little post that it just sits right on top of. There is a minimum, maximum, and another maximum fill line in here. And if you look at the indicators on there, you'll know what they mean. So there's a minimum for anything, then there's a maximum for your foams, and then there is a maximum for your steamed milk. So if you want to just warm your milk, then you can put a little bit more in there because it's not going to be foaming it. So when you're foaming something, it's going to expand and it's going to take up more space. So you have to make sure that you choose the right selection for what you're doing. So I'm going to fill this up to the maximum on our low foam. And we're going to do low foam rather. And so I'm going to put the lid on here. I'm going to place this on my little, I call it a little warming pad. I'm not sure what the correct term is. I have another brand, but I could tell from the first time I used this how much better the foam is. So you just press the little button to kind of get it started. You're going to press until you're ready to choose the option you want, and then you press the little button there. And what's going to happen is it starts spinning that little frother whisk on the inside. So I'm going to just slide this over, and I'm going to tell you a couple of things about the coffee pot. Obviously, this is where the water reservoir goes, and it has a really great handle on the side, so it makes it really easy to get on and off. I recommend doing this when you're facing it rather than from the side like I'm doing there. And the cool thing about this is you can use Nespresso, the original Nespresso pods. You can use K-Cups, or you can use your regular ground coffee. So what we're gonna do first, let's see what I have in here. Oh, I forgot, you have to pull this little lever up. So this is for your K-Cup. So let's do it first. You're gonna take your K-Cup and you're gonna press it in. You wanna hear that snap, and you wanna make sure that this is flush, and it will just slide right in. We're gonna put a coffee mug in here, and depending on the size of the mug that you have, you can adjust the height of this little stand. So I'm gonna put it up here. So that might be too far. Yeah, that was too far. Let's go back down here. And you don't want it to be so far from where it's dripping, otherwise it will splatter. We're gonna close this down, and then I'm gonna choose what size I want. And I have this, I'm gonna turn it so that you're not just seeing my head there. You're gonna press the power button, and then you select. I'm gonna do 6 ounces, and that's the start button also. The power button is also a start button. So I'm gonna just let the coffee drip in there. So it works like most of your Keurig type machines that use K-Cups. So while we are waiting for that, this is our little coffee scoop and leveler. So on the side here, you're not gonna be able to see it from the angle right this second, but there's, I call it a garage. It's a little garage with a secret door where you're gonna find your other pod attachments. So if you are doing ground coffee, you're gonna just pop this open, and there is a little filter in here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some ground coffee, we're gonna use our scoop, and then look at this little leveler. You just slide it over, it gives you the perfect size scoop, and then you just pour it in here, just like that. And then this is ready to go for the next cup of coffee that we make. So our K-Cup is almost finished there. So let's go ahead and make that. Now, if you wanted to add some syrups to this, then you could use like a little stainless measuring scoop. We have gourmet cherry almond, we have a gourmet brown sugar, and we also have a gourmet limoncello. So you can choose your syrups for your coffee. I'm not sure I want limoncello in my coffee, but I definitely want to use that to flavor some icing and some whipped cream. I think that's going to be great. For now though, I'm not going to add anything to this except for our milk. So the lights went off, spinning has stopped, so this is all done here. And I've got, look at this, can you see this beautiful foam? So our milk is gonna come out first, and our foam is stuck in there. I waited too long. I'm gonna just scoop it out here and we'll pour it on the top. You wanna be ready to pour as soon as it is done, because that froth just kind of had a chance to sit in there. When I made this earlier, it was divine. It was perfect. So now you have your coffee with your K-cups, and my friend Tanya gave me this cup. I love it. It has flip-flops on it. So I'll set that aside over here. And then now we're going to make a latte. So we're going to take this. I'm going to move it up a little bit higher. I'm going to be a little careful with this in case it's hot, but I'm going to take the K-cup pod out, and then I'm going to use my Nespresso. So you're going to pop this open. Same as the K-cup. You take this little pod, you want to snap it in, and then press this down. Slide this in. Again, if you're in front of this, it is much easier to do this facing it and not at this weird angle like I am at. And just so you know, if you go to Starbucks or Dunkin' or any of these major coffee brands and most coffee shops, if you want a latte or an espresso like they make, you're gonna need to do 2 pods. So you do one and then do another. So I'm gonna choose on this one, whoops, I went too far. 4 ounces, and press start. And that's gonna make our espresso using an espresso pod. Now, the Nespresso pod that I have in here, it's not Nespresso brand. It is Williams-Sonoma brand. And I bought this specifically because I wanted to check to make sure that it would work with non-Nespresso brand. This has 10 pods, and it was $7.95. Now let me tell you a story. While we're waiting on this little espresso to finish here, I went to Williams-Sonoma specifically to see their Nespresso machine because I wanted to compare Pampered Chefs to the Nespresso. And I was disappointed because while they have all of them, they were like stuck on cabinets and they couldn't actually get it down for me to look at. And I realized how important customer service is, because if I had actually been in the market to go buy an espresso, I would have been, well, I left very disappointed because I didn't learn anything about Nespresso. And so I went ahead while I was there and I bought the little pods because they had them, but it really reminded me why I offer such great customer service, because I want to make sure my customers have the answers to the questions that they have. So now we have this beautiful espresso. Now for this, you can add your steamed milk, you can add your high foam, your low foam, warm milk, whatever you like. I'm gonna just leave this. I'm not gonna drink these right now, and so I don't wanna waste them, but I can reheat them later and make something else with them. So let's make the next coffee. I'm gonna take this little pod holder out, and we're gonna put the ground coffee, put that in there, right? Slide this in and lock it down. But this is where I also want to show you how cool this machine is, because it can accommodate just about any cup that you have. So I know it's not a Stanley, but I love this cup. My friend Lisa made this cup for me, and if you slide it under just a little bit, you can fill this up. So if you're using a K cup for a lemonade or a tea, you would fill this with ice and you would just brew your K cup over the top, or cold brew. This is a great option. It'll also hold your Stanley cups, should hold your Stanley cups. I don't have one to check. My mom gave me this cup. It says KS Coordinator, and that fits my life most days. And so this is another option that you could just set on the bottom here. So no matter what cup you have, this is going to accommodate taller cups than most machines out there will. And so you just press that back on the bottom. And let's see, you want to make sure that you use whole milk. Whole milk is going to be best for your frother. If you use a lower fat milk, it's just not going to thicken up quite as much. And so I recommend using whole milk for that. You can try alternative milks, but they're not going to get the rise that you will out of a cow's milk. So I'm going to read you some of these tips here, and then I'll share a couple other things with you. So like I mentioned, the frother does high foam, low foam, warming only, or cold foam. You can flavor the milk before you make the foam. And as I mentioned, dairy milk works best. Results are going to vary based on the type of alternative brand milk, plant-based milks that you use. You can put like a hot chocolate packet in the frother and add the milk, but you want to make sure that it's not so much that it kind of clogs up that little whisk in there. So it has directions, which we already kind of went over. And then the Deluxe coffee machine has a start guide here, and this has a lot of great things that you can make. So there are tips and tricks. It has a little coffee drinks cheat sheet. Then you have all of the great recipes: Americano, short latte, iced coffee with milk, cappuccino, cafe mocha, dirty chai, cinnamon coffee, affogato, frozen coffee. Let's see what else we have here. I've got the Irish coffee, espresso martini, and then there's some coffee compliments: coffee house cookies, cinnamon, pecan, biscotti, and mocha muffin. So lots of great recipes. I always love all of our cooking guides. This one is called a start guide, since obviously we're not cooking in there. And then I did not know what this little thing was when I opened the box. So if you saw my unboxing video, I was like, what is this thing here? So this right here is a syringe, and it is for troubleshooting. So if the problem is that there's no liquid, so no coffee output from the machine, the possible reason is there may be water in the system that has dried or emptied, and then this gives you the solution. So it has instructions on how to use that syringe. I think I've told you everything that I wanted to share here. There is so much exciting stuff happening with Pampered Chef this spring and summer, and everybody loves coffee, or most everybody, right? I know there's a few people who don't drink coffee. I actually didn't drink coffee until I started working night shift at the police department, and so then you kind of have to drink coffee, and then you learn how to drink it, and it tastes great. You find your flavor, and then you love coffee. And did you know that Americans spend $2,000 a year on coffee? So if you were to go and buy this latte at Starbucks, you would probably pay $6 to $8 depending on what else you're going to add to this. Whatever pumps of syrup and whatever foam that you want, everything is extra charge. And so you can make your coffee at home. These pods came out to about 80 cents per pod. So that's 80 cents per drink. If you're adding milk in, add a little bit more, but you can make your drinks for, I'm going to say, roughly $1 per drink. And that's way cheaper than what you're going to be able to get when you go through the drive-thru or go to a coffee shop. So I would love the opportunity to help you get the Deluxe coffee maker in your kitchen, and of course you can purchase it. And if you are wanting to get a discount, I can help you get it for free or for half price by hosting a party. And if you have any questions about anything, please feel free to reach out to me or use the chat. Subscribe to my channel while you're here. Don't forget to go to theflipflopchef.com and join my recipe community. That's where all the magic happens. There are thousands of recipes, and I give away at least once every week on Fridays, and I give lots of big prizes away all throughout the year, so you don't want to miss out. So I'll see you in the group, but that's all for now. Bye everyone.